people say they're not working out. And I say, well, why aren't you working out? And they will say, why should I work out? My reply to that is, why shouldn't you work out? Why shouldn't you want your body to feel good? All right, welcome back to another episode of the Brave Today podcast. This show is going to encourage, challenge, maybe even provoke you to step outside of your comfort zone and take more action to, of course, better improve yourself and your overall health. I'm your host, Mark Avens, and in this crazy upside-down world that seems to keep pushing a narrative for people to become softer, weaker, sicker, unhealthier, more dependent than ever, the goal and intent of this show is to help you navigate through all those things so that you can become braver today than you were yesterday. Now, today we're going to do a version of Brave Q&A. It's going to be a rapid fire 10 questions. I'm going to ask the frequently most asked questions about health and fitness, things that I've gotten asked over the years. And I want to answer those top 10 questions for you today. So if you have questions regarding health and fitness, chances are you have one of the questions that'll be listed. So it'll be definitely something that you're going to want to tune in for. Also, if you haven't been listening to the podcast that we recently started, we also do Brave guest interviews. That's where I interview people that I admire who are not only brave, but are also helping other people become braver today than they were yesterday. We also have what's called the Flavor of the Week, where I'll be actually discussing, digging into the latest news, health and fitness, picking apart latest diet trends, workouts, fads, pills, potions. I recently did one on Ozempic, so you can go back. I can't remember the episode number on that. Also, we'll have breakthrough episodes where I'll be taking a deeper dive into an area, be it maybe physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, basically any area that could be holding you back, and provide insight and guidance to help you have a breakthrough on your personal health and fitness journey. And with that, we're going to get started on today's Brave Q&A. Hope you enjoy. All right. So for today, we're going to do what's called a rapid fire Brave Q&A, because I had a lot of questions that I've been asked. And, I narrowed it down from, I think it was over 50 questions to 10. And instead of making this a 2-hour podcast, I'm going to go through a rapid fire, because they're pretty straightforward questions, but they are frequently asked questions from a lot of people who are on a health and fitness journey. They're trying to lose weight. They're trying to get in better shape. They're trying to change their lifestyle, trying to change their habits. They know if they keep going down the direction they're headed, things aren't going to look good. So the first question, we're just going to jump right in. Let's get right to it. The first question, and this might be a strange one, but it's something that comes up, and it is something that I ask. People say they're not working out, and I say, well, why aren't you working out? And they will say, why should I work out? And really, I guess my reply to that is, why shouldn't you work out? Why shouldn't you want your body to feel good? Essentially, the way I see it is, the more you move, the better you feel. So part of that could be exercise. And, I'm not saying you have to formally exercise, but the reality is most of us these days are less active. We're sitting at desks, we're sitting on the couch, we're sitting in cars. We go to sleep for 6, 7, 8 hours at night, and we're spending a lot of our time not moving. And that's not, our bodies are actually meant to move. So the reason why you should work out is because it's going to help enhance your entire life. It's going to help enhance everything. You're going to have less aches and pains. When you move more, you're going to feel better. When you move more, you're going to get stronger and healthier. And it's going to help also your immune system. There's so many benefits. I could take an hour just to talk about them all. But the question of why should I work out, it should be pretty obvious. And I know the reality is a lot of people don't. So it almost becomes more acceptable to not work out. So I would actually encourage you, I should say the best word, to look at not so much why you should work out, but why you shouldn't. Maybe look at the people that are working out, that are pursuing healthy, fit habits. You look at older people, you see those videos of women in their 80s doing amazing things, even some guys in their 90s that are exercising. My dad's a perfect example. He's going to be 81, and he rides a bike almost 100 miles a week, every week. On his bike, has been doing that for the last couple of years. So I know for him, and the value of having independence, to be able to get out and be in nature and bike ride and enjoy life. That's what it's all about. So again, why should you work out? My question actually to respond and answer is going to be, why shouldn't you work out? Number 2, how often should I work out? Here's a great question. Like, what's the ideal amount? Like, if I had the bare minimum amount of workouts, how much should I be working out? Well, honestly, if you did 1 workout a week, that's going to be better than no workouts a week. If you worked out for 2 days a week, that's going to be better than no workouts a week, and so on. So, and instead of classifying as maybe workout, maybe move, like to be active. Like the actual maybe more benefit is just to be out and about, to be active, to be able to go for a walk. Ideally, you should be able to go for a walk every day, even if it's just around your block, even if it's maybe around your neighborhood, or you go take the dog for a walk. But how long, as far as how long should you work out for? Again, that really is up to what your goals are. The good news is you don't have to spend hours in the gym to get in great shape. To be honest with you, if you have a good workout plan and you have structure and you're consistent, we have women in our coaching program that are working out at home, and their workouts are 3 to 4 times a week, and they're doing anywhere from 20 to 30-minute workouts. And between that and steps, and they're getting into amazing shape. So again, and that's just based on the goals that we know that our audience, the women that we work with currently, have as far as time factor and what works in their, their daily schedule and what they're physically able to do. So I would say, as far as how long, work out as long as you want. Ultimately, like spending time working out should be something that you know is an investment in you, and that there is going to be benefits. So if you can go for a walk for an hour or two every day, go for it, do it. You shouldn't put a time limit, nor should you think that, oh, if I can't work out an hour, I'm not going to get any benefit, so I might as well not work out. That's honestly just a cop out and just another excuse. But literally, we even have people that have such busy lives, they can't get in a full 20-minute workout. So they'll break it up 2 times during the day, and it'll still be really valuable, and they'll still get great results. So keep that in mind. That's number 2. Let's go on. Question number 3. Oh, I think I actually answered 2 and 3. How often should I work out and how long should I work out for? So we kind of did 2 and 1 because those are the second and third question. I think we covered how often should I work out. And again, it's no different than how long. It's really up to you and your goals. Like, how often should you work out? In my opinion, you should be doing something active every single day, or building yourself up to a point where you are able to be active every single day. What's going to happen? It's going to help you with digestion. It's going to help you with alleviating stress. It's going to help you with feeling more confident, comfortable. It's going to help you with the aches and pains as you get older. It's going to help you have better night's sleep. It's going to help you prevent things like getting sick and flus and all that type of stuff. It's going to help you with recovery if you ever need a surgery. So like, there's so much benefit. You should be aiming to do something active every single day that you're alive. Now, again, if you have more time, then spend more time. If you have less time, then do what you can. But ultimately, what you don't want to do is to do nothing at all. So number 4, let's go into that. How do I lose body fat and gain muscle? Now, that is like the key, right? The key is, well, I don't want to just lose weight. And maybe you've been told you just need to lose weight, but what about losing fat and gaining muscle? Because here's the difference. When you lose weight, think about what weight is for a minute. Let's touch base on that. For instance, if you were to lose 10 pounds, does that mean you lost 10 pounds of fat? Not necessarily. Actually, a lot of times when people are on a weight loss journey in the beginning, they lose a lot of like water if they're sweating, working out. They're not necessarily losing fat. Yes, you can lose fat when you lose weight, but that doesn't mean when you lose every single pound, that's every single pound you lose is a pound of fat. So you got to be careful with that, especially if you're dieting, because a lot of times you lose muscle. If you have muscle on your body and then you go on a diet and you don't do any exercise, guess what? You're probably losing muscle, which is part of that weight loss. So how do I lose body fat and gain muscle? Well, losing body fat comes with eating the proper amount of food, the right amount of foods and the right nutrients in your body. You have to get your nutrition to a point where you understand the difference between fats and carbs and proteins. Realize that they're all valuable things to have when you're trying to lose fat. So don't just think, oh, I got to just eliminate fat from my diet. I have to just remove all the fat, like those type of things. And when you think about losing body fat, like what's happening? Your body is restructuring. It's actually reframing. It's actually transforming. And the way to do that is through primarily nutrition. It's going to be your best bet. I mean, it's not going to be through working out. Working out, you can sweat and you can burn calories and that can help. But honestly, for losing body fat, the last thing you really want to be thinking about is how are you going to do that through working out? Now, working out is a great tool, and that goes into gaining muscle. So if your goal is just to lose weight, you can do whatever exercise you want and you can eat, and do any kind of diet you want. But if you truly try to transform your body, if you want to lose body fat, get lean, you want to get leaner and toner, you want to reduce the amount of excess fat on your body and also gain muscle. So how to do that effectively? You have to get your nutrition into a point where you understand how much is coming in and coming out. You don't have to count calories. You don't even have to count macros for that, but you do have to look at what you're eating and actually observe it and actually make some notes and make some changes and then adjust accordingly. That's what we do with our students. So the gaining muscle part, it has to come with developing a better body awareness as you start to exercise. Doesn't mean you should just go hitting the weights hard, because if you have not been exercising, trust me, it's not going to be fun and it's going to be painful. If you start just hitting the weights hard, maybe you used to be in good shape back in high school and college and you haven't done anything in years. The last thing you want to do is go in a hardcore training program with weight training, strength training, doing free weights, machines, all that kind of stuff. The best method to gain muscle, gain lean muscle. We're not talking like bodybuilders. So ladies, don't worry. It's not like, and gosh, this is something that comes up still. If you work out with weights and strength train, is it going to make you big and bulky? No, it's not going to, but it's going to help you develop strength and gain lean muscle. And what's really good about gaining muscle is muscle actually requires more fuel in your body. In other words, muscle is hungrier. It takes up more of the calories than fat does. So that's actually a huge benefit as you get older to have more lean muscle on your body. So I already talked to you about body fat, and that comes with nutrition, having good habits, sleep habits, dealing with your stress. All those things are going to help you lose body fat. But what you can also do is develop the right kind of conditioning program, training program that eventually will get you to a point where your body is able to do really good resistance training. And that could be anything from bands to free weights to machines to body weight, but ultimately to start to develop a way to condition yourself to become stronger. And the way to do that is to challenge yourself. Your body goes through what's called, there's this principle, it's called the SAID principle, SAID, specific adaptations for induced demands. And all that really means, in kind of layman's terms, is that you have to put a demand on your body to make change. So if you want more muscle, you actually have to challenge the muscles that are currently there, so that they get fatigued and break down and realize, oh man, we need to level up. We need to get some more muscle on here. We need to call our body to develop more muscle. And that happens. And it doesn't happen if your nutrition is off. So that's why it's so important while you're on a weight loss journey, fat loss journey, trying to gain lean muscle, that you have to make sure that your nutrition is the key focus while you're losing fat, to the point where you're able to use the conditioning and workouts to develop lean muscle. As far as like how to measure your body fat and how to measure lean muscle, there's all kinds of equations and all that. I'm not here to get into that. Just wanted to give you the overall perspective, because I think if you don't have the overall perspective and understanding, you're never going to be at the leanest you want or the strongest you want. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Number 5, how often should I rest? Rest is a really interesting one, because, you hear the things when you start working out, rest when you're dead, or you don't need rest. Even like in business world, you hear, like rest is for the weak. And no, rest is actually a really valuable thing. Something that I've actually come into more understanding for my own personal journey as I try to get in better shape in my 50s now, is I have to also realize, as I press and push myself harder, I need more rest. I actually need not just rest, I need quality rest. So the thing is, when you're sleeping, you could get 8 hours, but it could be a crappy 8 hours of sleep, right? So what you should probably be doing is seeing how you're feeling after a night's sleep. Are you getting up a lot? And a lot of people, as we get older, we get up to use the bathroom, myself included. But are you able to get back to sleep pretty quick? What are you doing before you go to bed at night? Like, those are all things that can affect your sleep. But as far as how often should you rest, now we're talking sleep and rest. Now, as far as rest goes, like if you have a good night's sleep, a good night's sleep is plenty of rest, unless you're training for some like triathlon, or you're doing some bodybuilding competition or something, which I don't think any of my viewers here listening right now are probably in that mode. And if you are, you probably understand you're going to have to take rest between workouts and things like that. But the old saying about listen to your body, you do have to ultimately listen to your body, but you do need a good night's sleep. You do need to rest your body. If you're working out on a regular basis and you're challenging yourself and you're eating right, you're being active through the day, and you have a hard work day, regardless of what kind of work you do, you have to allow your body to rest, because when it recovers, it's kind of like your phones when you recharge them. You do need to allow your body to recharge so that you can get the energy back for the next day that God gives you, right? Those are things that are going to be really, really helpful. So as far as working out goes, as far as resting, like think about this. If you're doing like a walk, if you do a walk in the morning, you're fine the next day to do another walk. You could even do a walk in the evening, right? You work out hard on Monday. You can also work out hard on Tuesday. I'd be careful as you're progressing accordingly. When you start to work out more and you start to get stronger, your body will probably require a little bit more recovery. So what that looks like for me, I do more of like traditional strength training workouts at the gym, and I do walking and I do some cardio, light cardio. I do some step mill and stuff like that in between, but most of it out and about and hiking and so forth. But what I try to do is work a couple of body parts. I do like just split workouts where I might do like a chest and back, kind of old school style. There's not many aches and pains. I'm feeling strong. I'm building lean muscle. I'm developing my body at 51 where it needs to, but I also got to realize that I have a lot of experience. So a lot of people that don't have experience in that, you do realize as you start to work out, you're going to feel it. It's going to be a little bit of pain, not the no pain, no gain, but it will be a little bit of pain, and it'll be something that you'll have to just be in tune to your body. The best way to do that is to have somebody help you understand what that looks like and to walk through that with you. It's why coaching and having somebody that's been where you're trying to go has already been there. Somebody has either helped you, a friend maybe that's been there. Probably more valuable is somebody that actually has done it, like myself, and coaches that are out there that professionally understand how to progress the body, how to understand how to work and rest. It is really, really important. Let's move on. Number 6. We got a few more to go. When and how often should I stretch? So stretching is really, really valuable, really important. And there's 2 different types I want to talk about. Not so much stretching, but actually mobility, which is just your body's ability to move the joints properly. So that's going to be valuable. You can stretch all you want, but if your joints are not mobile, then it's going to be hard to stretch. And I would say pre-workout and post-workout and in between workouts. And when you're traveling, there's lots of tools and a lot of techniques that you can do. You can do some foam rolling. You can do some, maybe even massage. You can even do some light stretching, dynamic stretching, static stretches, lots of different kinds. But ultimately, stretching will help. You want to understand, and you can certainly look it up yourself to see what kind of stretching is best before workout or after workout. Stretching in the morning before you get out of bed is going to be really beneficial as well, especially maybe if you're a little less in shape, maybe you're a little deconditioned, you're going to probably want to spend some time. Stretching is going to help your body. Just realize it's not all about just pushing the weights around or doing the push-ups or doing the cardio, but the flexibility is going to help prevent injury. It's going to help optimize performance, and is going to be overall just something that will feel good if you get into the routine of stretching. So as far as how often, you can definitely stretch every single day. In fact, there's really no limit to how much you can stretch. You can certainly overstretch. You don't want to stretch to a point where it's painful. You're doing like bend over to touch your toes and you're trying to push it and force it. Like, you don't want to risk injuring yourself. So just be careful. Again, it's just listening to your body, taking care of your body, and know that stretching is a valuable part. We do that for all of our members in our program that start on an exercise and conditioning program with us. We make sure that we incorporate good stretching techniques and flexibility and mobility work. How do I get flat abs? How do I get flat abs? Well, there's a couple of ways to get flat abs. It does happen in the kitchen. You've heard that before, and it is correct. But also, you got to realize that genetics plays a part of it. And as you get older, right, you can look at your genetics and see what your family, does any of your family have 6-packs? So again, chances are it will be harder if genetics is against you, but if genetics is for you, and even if it isn't for you, there is a way to develop a nice, tight, flat stomach. And again, it comes down to what we already talked about, is actually reducing fat, lowering your body fat, eliminating the excess weight and fat that's on your body, but then also conditioning your body to strength train. What that'll do is to help develop more lean muscle. And you can't spot reduce. So one of the things as far as flat stomach, let me just, I'll just reiterate what I've said hundreds and hundreds of times over the years. You're not going to get 6-pack abs or flat stomach from doing crunch sit-ups or doing those side ab lifts. You see people holding the weights in the gym and they're doing the side lifts. You're not going to get abs that way. That happens in the kitchen. You're going to have to change your eating habits. You're going to actually have to develop better nutritional awareness, better mindfulness when eating and portion control. And then also where, stress, do you have any stress out there? Stress and cortisol, all those things play factors. Not getting any sleep, not getting recovery. Those are all going to be factors. Like, are you anxious? Like, are you on medications? Those are all things that are going to actually play an effect on how much you're going to get closer to a flatter stomach. And of course, the ultimate way to do that is by being consistent. You're going to need to have consistent habits. That it's a skill set. Honestly, like the biggest thing I can share with you, if you want flat stomach, you're going to have to develop the skill set that's going to help you get a flatter stomach. Now, maybe you don't want the 6-pack abs. You just want to not have the excess belly fat. And that is possible. That can happen. Most people really struggle with it because they don't have the consistent habits and they haven't developed the skill set, how to handle, times when it's stressful, how to get through the holidays, how to have the kind of accountability and support. It does come to accountability, right? There's a lost sense of accountability all over the place, and not just in fitness. But when it comes to getting your body in the best shape, having a flat stomach, maybe even seeing some abs pop through, it comes to some discipline. And that's really hard to do if you're trying to keep yourself accountable. That's why it's really great to be in a community of other people that are, pursuing goals that are in lines with your goals, that can encourage you, inspire you. We have a great inner circle where we do that with our members. It's really great. It's awesome. But don't give up hope with the flat abs. So you can get a flat stomach, but it's easy just to say, nah, it's just too hard. I'm not going to do it. And that's totally cool. And that's your prerogative. Number 8, we got 3 more. What are the best foods for weight loss? Well, this will be a quick one. The best foods for weight loss, let's just say, what are the best foods for weight gain? And that's all the processed, highly refined sugars. Carbohydrates are not the enemy, but usually carbohydrates that most people put in their mouth is from the form of processed foods. Like, it's just easy things you grab off the grocery store. You go through the aisles instead of the perimeter where all the fresh vegetables and fruits and things and meats and so forth. So honestly, the best foods for weight loss, it's just coming back to basics. If you just go back to, is it like, oh, do I have to do no carbs and no vegetables? No, you want vegetables. Vegetables are good. They have fiber. They'll be sustaining. The rule of thumb should be, if you can't pronounce it, if you can't read it, if you don't understand what's in the ingredients, like, an apple's an apple, right? And an avocado's an avocado for the most part, right? An organic piece of chicken is a piece of chicken, right? And I'm not getting into pesticides and all that stuff. We're just talking about that. If you can at least avoid all the processed packaged foods, and it's something I still, have times where I struggle, but it is something as far as if you're really trying to lose weight, if you can start to minimize the amount of processed foods that you have in your body, it's going to not only help you succeed, it's going to develop ability to do all the things we just talked about. You can get it closer to having a flat stomach. You can get stronger. You can get healthier, develop a better immune system, and you start eating more whole, fresh foods. Whole grains are fine. Again, but you're going to also have to exercise. It's going to actually even help you with your workouts as well, which is really, really great. So not just for weight loss, but best foods. I think between you and me, you kind of know, right? An apple is going to be better than a candied apple, right? Hummus and veggies are going to be a little bit different than veggie chips, right? Despite maybe what the branding and marketing does to say that they're healthy for you. So let's move on. That's the best foods. Will lifting weights make me bulky? Well, we already touched on that, but I want to just touch on that again. Lifting weights gets you stronger. No, Mark, you don't understand my body type. I think what happens is there's this perception, if you've been living in a certain body type for a while and you start to get tighter, you start to develop muscles on your body, female or male. I know males like, oh, I want to have bigger muscles. Yeah. So this would be probably more geared towards women. And in short, no, Mark, I want to get tighter and toner, but I don't want to have big muscles. Well, I don't know anybody. I haven't worked with anybody that has actually pursued a strength training unless they were doing like hardcore CrossFit and they were like fueling their body to build muscle, like big muscle. There hasn't anybody that I've met that isn't doing that for that specific reason that actually gets bulky. So I guess it really is a myth, so you got to just kind of eliminate the myth, ladies that are listening. And you think that if you do some strength training, you lift weights, or even if you lift heavy weights, I actually encourage you, if you can build up the tolerance in that said principle, your demand for your body to be able to lift weights, go lift some heavy weights. The one way to observe this, go in the gym the next time. Say if you're my age, 51, you go to the gym and look at people that are doing different types of workouts. A big gym. You think of like a gym that has classes and they have cardio equipment and they have machines and they have free weights. They have all different areas in the gym, right? If you haven't been to the gym, then maybe even just going to the gym, maybe you're going to get a gym membership in the new year, right? New year, new me. The worst time of the year to start the gym actually is January because it's over busy and then it gets you discouraged and it's crazy town. But let's just say you go in now and check it out. Go look at the people that are working out with weights. Go look at the people on the cardio. Go look at the people in the classes. It's very obvious to me. It may not be so obvious, but you just look for a bit. Look at the women maybe that are your age that are strength training in the gym that are your age. Look at the general senses of what the body type looks like. Now, I know people cross train and do different things. The majority of people in that class probably regulars. So you go in the cardio, look at the majority of what people look like on the cardio. And I'm not here to knock it because, again, you do what you do is better than doing nothing at all. But ask yourself, what kind of body do you want? Right? You'll see typically on cardio equipment, most people, they're kind of skinnier. I would say, even if maybe they're there trying to lose weight and they're on cardio, but you'll see the general senses. You don't see a lot of people that have good, strong muscles that are spending a lot of time doing cardio. because they're too busy spending a lot of time doing the strength training. Same thing with classes. You're going to see a type of person, a body type that are more prone to be doing classes. Again, they're all fine to do. You just have to ask yourself, what's the most valuable thing as far as like looking at strength training? Now, back to the question, will lifting weights make you bulky? No. I mean, and you could just go do your own little research and see for yourself. Now, if you go to like a hardcore training gym where they're like people are doing pre-workouts and they're doing supplementation, all that stuff, you may see one or two women, or they're doing like CrossFit competitions, right? That kind of stuff. Then you'll probably see that. But ultimately, other than that, no. All right. So last one. How does exercise help with mental health? Well, what's really, really amazing about exercise is it creates a better feeling. So again, with mental health, it's about mentally how you feel. So, and I'm not a mental health expert, but I do know for a fact, and I know personally speaking through hard times in life where like mentally it was a struggle, like I was struggling mentally. My mental health was being challenged, to say the least. And I would say is one of the saving things that I had for me, that I had available, that really nobody could take away, was my ability to move and to exercise. And what really is valuable, and I've even noticed it on the clinical side when I work in physical therapy, there's these little endorphins that are these amazing things that happen as a result for exercise. And endorphins is a really, really, really great thing for you and for your body. You feel good. You ever heard about the runner's high? That might be something you may have heard before, but I know even just any workout, you go for a walk, go for a swim, go for a bike ride, get out and get some fresh air, go work out in the gym, do a Zumba class, spin class, anything. These hormones that are released and these endorphins are really great. They're great at helping you feel good. And that's so valuable for mental health. You feel better about yourself. The hard thing is a lot of times, even for people that do exercise, and I found the ones that really struggle to find the value and benefit of endorphins, they're on other medications. They're taking a lot of other kinds of artificial pharmaceutical drugs that really are making it hard for them to have the value of endorphins, or they're not consistent enough. They haven't given themselves enough time and effort to put in exercising where they don't really feel that yet. But honestly, it's one of the things that we found first that happens for people that haven't been exercising, that start to move more. The more you move, the better you feel. And that feeling is going to very much help with mental health. So on the clinical side, again, I'm not a mental health expert and I can't tell you all of that, but I can share with you as well. I've seen just tremendous transformations of people's mental health. I've seen people, their moods change, their lives change, their outlook on life has changed. The level of depression is decreased, anxiety is decreased, all because they start taking better care of themselves. And a big part of that being in exercise. All right, so that's all I have for today. Again, it wasn't as quick, rapid fire, but those are really the 10 things that I think are going to help you as far as questions. Hopefully one of those resonated with you. And if you did enjoy the show and you found it valuable, I'm not going to be doing any advertising on the show so that I can just keep this pure and real. But if you do find this valuable, all the ask is that you share the show with a friend. You can just copy. I'm on Apple Podcasts as well as Spotify. And if you feel free, if you want to leave a comment, if you have a question, you can ask me as well. And maybe I'll answer that in one of my next Q&As. Anyway, take care and God bless.